All right, so today I'm going to try out a new product. Well, probably isn't new to me product. It's a oil gel from Johnson's. And it's really thick. It looks like it'll make a neat drip for sure. So we're gonna make a lava lamp tumbler with this gel, which I got off Amazon. They may sell it other places. I've never seen this at the grocery store, but regardless, I did get it at Amazon. I think it was about $4. I'll link it in the description if you can't find it at your grocery store or your pharmacy, wherever you're getting your baby oil from. And I'm going to be using vegetable glycerin. We're going to need some distilled water as well, and I'm going to be using 2 different colors of dye. I'm going to be using these candle colors, which I got off Amazon. I'll also link these in the description. And I'm going to be using the pink. And then we're also going to, and this is an oil-based dye. You have to use an oil-based dye for this to work because we're dyeing oil. If you try to use a water-based dye, this will not work. Then we are also going to be using a water-based dye, but we're using this to dye the glycerin. And this is Sky Blue, and it is just a water-based dye that, again, I got off Amazon. This is the brand I've been using. I don't know if you can get this in the United States, but any brand of water-based coloring should be fine for this. So we're going to get started with some distilled water. So I've put 2 ounces of distilled water into this squeeze bottle, and I'm going to add 2 ounces of glycerin to this. I want this to be super thick. You can also use glue if you want, if you don't have the glycerin. It doesn't work quite as well, but if you don't have anything else, that'll be fine. And we're going to dye this blue. So I may not need all of this for this tumbler, but it's better to have a little extra than not enough. And I'm going to dye this up. I'm going to start with 2 drops and see if that's the color I want. I want this to be a light blue. That looks pretty light blue to me. I'm going to give that a good shake. Make sure all the glycerin is distributed through the water. And then we're going to need 30 ml of this GELl oil. And this stuff is super thick, and it does have some air bubbles in it, which may or may not cause a problem here, but we're going to see. I've never used this product before, so it's kind of another experiment. All right, and then we're going to dye this with our pink oil-based dye. Give it a good shake. They do settle a little bit when they've been sitting. Just make sure you give it a good shake. That should be good. And I'm going to add we'll do about 10 drops, maybe a little more. This stuff isn't super pigmented, so you can add more than you think, and it's likely still not going to be enough. Yeah, see, it's got a lot of air bubbles in it. I think maybe, I don't know if those will come out or not. I don't know if that's going to cause a problem. Regardless, we're still going for it. As an alternative to the candle dye, you can get oil-based food coloring. And that's also something you can get off Amazon or at any local baking type store. They should have it. Just make sure it's an oil-based coloring, like a candy color for dyeing candy, not a water-based dye for doing like cakes. All right, and for the tumbler, what I've been using are these tumblers from Michael's. They're around $5. If you can get some off Amazon or wherever you get your tumblers is fine. And then I've poked a hole in it with a hot tool, and that works really well. That's the large hot tool, which is super great if you're trying to put glitter into it. I'm not putting glitter into this one, but if you do put glitter into them, that makes it super, super easy to get your glitter in. All right, so best thing to use to get your stuff into the into the tumbler I've found are these squeeze bottles. You can get these at a dollar store or again Amazon, or I think Michael's even carries these. It's just like a condiment bottle. Works really good. Makes it super easy. So I'm just going to pour my gel into the squeeze bottle. And then we're going to add this directly into the tumbler. And these are super, super easy projects to do. Pretty much anyone can do these. They're not complicated. You don't need any equipment. If you don't have a hot tool for putting a hole in the tumblers, you can use a drill. I do have a video on that, drilling tumblers if you're confused at all. Or there's a video on how to use a hot tool as well. Both are super easy. The drill is a little more of a challenge just because you can crack the tumbler. I have cracked a few of them. It does take a little bit of practice, but if you don't have anything else, just be careful when you're doing it and you'll be all right. So now we're going to fill the tumbler, and you just tip it to the side and then just squeeze your liquid right in. And see, this might not even be pink enough for what I would like, but we're going to put it in there anyway. I thought it'd be a little pinker, but it's not. It's always hard to tell until you get it into the tumbler. You may have to, stuff is pretty thick. You have to tip this a bit to get it in there. Very thick stuff. Says, no, I don't want to go in. Get in there. I think I'm going to, and all that isn't in there yet, but I think I'm going to add some of my glycerin mixture just to try to get some of that to go down. Because it's so thick, it's not going down. It will go down eventually, but it may take it a couple minutes here. All right, so we did have that in the tumbler. Looks pretty cool. Okay, and then we just got to get our glycerin mixture in there as well. And I think I'd probably put the glycerin mixture in there first after adding that oil. It's just so thick, it might be a little bit more of a challenge, but it's going in, so we're all good. Okay, and when I'm done filling this, I will come back and show you what it's going to look like here. All right, so just proving not all of my projects go very smoothly. I did get a tumbler that's leaking. I do reuse these quite a few times, so sometimes that is the problem. I have reused this tumbler a couple times, and this time it has decided it does not want to be in existence anymore. But I was going to finish this off, but honestly, this tumbler looks pretty terrible, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like. It doesn't flow, and it just, I don't know, it'd be all right, I guess. It's very suspended, that thick oil. I don't like it. I think I can use it if we water it down a little bit with some of the regular baby oil, but just as it is, plain, it is pretty thick. It's not moving at all in the tumbler, so I think this one I'm going to chalk it up to being kind of a fail, but unless you want to suspend something in there, it just doesn't look very great in my opinion. But you guys tell me what you think. I'm not going to bother sealing this one. I'm just going to let it go at this point because it's already leaking at the top here, and I just there isn't a lot of point in sealing it up, and because it's not turning out, I'm not going to do another tumbler and have it turn out so you guys can see it properly, but it isn't turning out, and I don't like the goop in there. So anyways, tell me what you guys think. I think it's a fail. We're not giving up on the oil yet. We're going to try it again. We're going to try it a different way. We're going to water it down with some regular baby oil, and I'm going to try it again. But in the meantime, I thought you guys might at least enjoy that experiment. You can see that that doesn't work overly great. Yeah, so there you go. Thanks so much for watching. I do put out at least one new video every week, so please do subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.